Carolina.
Thank you, Madam President. I thank my colleagues, both Senator Collins and Senator Langford, for their thoughts and their comments and their words today, because what we're talking about today is not about simply a $3.5 trillion spending bill. We're talking about something more fundamental to what it means to be an American. I am proud to be an American. I am proud to live in a country where upward mobility is a reality, that we can, by hard work and a strong education, change our fortunes in this country, and not only change it for ourselves, but change it for the generations that follow us. As Senator Langford talked about the three important ingredients of escaping poverty, I will say that as a kid who stumbled in high school, who did not do well as a freshman, who did not see the opportunities that America had available, who did not believe always that there was a way that a poor kid in South Carolina could ever escape poverty. I'm thankful that I met a mentor and had a powerful mom who believed in me in a way that I could not believe in myself. I'm thankful to live in a country where the American free enterprise system provided a pathway forward, and if I could just see it and believe it and work towards it, it was possible for me to achieve the outcomes that we're sitting here trying to defend. I am thankful that as the kid who then finished high school and went on to college and experienced the American dream, that we are here together to defend the American dream for the next generation. And the challenge, of course, is that when you look at the $3.5 trillion package, it makes it harder for a kid trapped in poverty, as I was, to find a path forward. Madam President, I will simply say that while we discuss this $3.5 trillion package, the content of this package is more concerning than the cost of this package. I'm certain that someone on the other side will figure out that taking 10 years of funding and making it 5 years of funding cuts it from $3.5 trillion down to $1.75 trillion. I'm confident that that math is easy to do on either side, but I am not confident that we can preserve the American dream in all of its glory if the content of this package becomes law. I think about how unfortunate it would be in a nation that is nearly divided 50-50 that we would find ourselves because the Democrats control the White House. There's a 50-50 split in the Senate that requires the vice president to break a tie, and a 5-seat majority the Democrats have in the House. And with those slim majorities, they want to do something so fundamentally transformative that it scares me for the future of the kids trapped in poverty all over America. I don't know how we continue to be able to preach the good news of economic opportunity and economic freedom when you're on the road to socialism. The two are antithetical. They don't go in the same direction. There's a road that forks, and we as a nation have to choose one. And unfortunately, the Democrats, who have the slimmest of majorities, have the votes to fundamentally weaken the greatest economic engine in world history through taxing and spending policies that bring us so much closer to socialism. The Democrats actually want you to believe what they say more than what you see with your own eyes. You see, the breadcrumbs of this $3.5 trillion package can be seen by the level of inflation. You see, if you put too much money in the economy too quickly and the supply remains about the same, it leads to inflation. What inflation means to kids living in single-parent households and to people living and working paycheck to paycheck, what inflation means is it means a tax. It means even with a small marginal increase in your income, with the rate of inflation being over 5.5%, your spending power goes down. And so when you pull up to the gas station, as I did, and so many Americans do every single day to go to work, and you look at the price per gallon, and it's over $3 a gallon, which represents over a 40% increase in the cost of gas. On a fixed income, as our Social Security recipients and our golden Americans are, on people working paycheck to paycheck, a 40+% increase in the cost of gas deprives them of some of the luxuries, the margins in their paycheck. And then you stack on top of that a 20% increase in the cost of your utilities. It is impossible to recognize the devastating impact that the Biden inflation is having already on middle-income Americans, on paycheck-to-paycheck Americans, on people living in poverty, and in single-parent households. But worse than the inflationary effect, which of course is the precursor to the $3.5 trillion, is what the content does. Think about this. In America today, if you write a check for $10,000, the IRS wants to know where you're writing it to. Under this proposal, imagine, if you will, the IRS spying on your bank accounts for every transaction over $600. Imagine 4 tires, more than $600. So the IRS wants to know why you're spending $600 on tires. Imagine if your engine runs hot and you have to take your car in to get it checked. More than $600. Imagine trying to find the money, scraping the resources together just to be able to buy the school clothes for your kids. And if you have a couple of kids, a couple pair of shoes, pants. Dresses are up 18%. Imagine that $600 expense being taken out of your account and the IRS is looking into your accounts to see what you're spending the money on. The content of this legislation is more dangerous than the amount of the legislation. And I got to tell you, $3.5 trillion is pretty dangerous, but more dangerous than the $3.5 trillion is having the IRS empowered to take a look at every single transaction. Not only the $600, but imagine doubling the number of IRS agents with the $80 billion in this package. Doubling the number of agents to come take a look at your family businesses, your family accounts. Destructive. But go beyond that. Think about the average farmer in South Carolina who spent their entire lives farming, who have more land than money. And because of this package and its impact on family businesses and family farmers, because of the way they want to refigure the death tax or the estate tax, as we say it when we're being polite, mixed company. Here's what it means. It means that you jeopardize the ability to pass your family farm to the next generation. This is not theoretical. You can talk to a farmer named Whit Player in Lee County or Monty Rast in St. Matthews, South Carolina, who've been farming for decades. Ask them about the impact of not being able to pass your family farm or small business to the next generation. Think about punishing the farmers and still providing a check for $12,500 for someone making $800,000 a year to buy a luxury vehicle, electric vehicle, and you're going to give them a tax credit, even though they make $800,000. Imagine a part of the bill where union workers at an auto factory are able to sell their cars with a $4,500 tax credit, but the Volvo worker in South Carolina, the BMW worker in South Carolina, who don't work at a union factory, their cars don't get the $4,500 tax credit. Embedding a unique form of bias into this bill just doesn't feel right. Or restoring the tax credits for the state and local taxes for millionaires and billionaires across this country and putting that burden back on the backs of working people, middle class working people. I won't even go into raising the corporate tax from 21% to 28% or 26.5%. I won't go into eliminating for pass-through small businesses, mom and pop businesses, the 20% increase because you eliminate the 20% credit on their small businesses. I won't get into that because we don't have enough time. I won't get into the raising taxes on individuals. I won't get into the capital gains tax going from 23.8 to 43.8. I won't get into all of that right now. But I will say this. If the Democrats' plan succeeds, I fear that American dream that I am able to live right now. I fear that kids stuck in poverty today will be stuck in a caste system of socialism tomorrow. Madam President, thank you for your time, your patience. I'm just concerned about the greatest nation ever designed in the history of the world. Thank you.